Hi there, I'm Phil Ollie, and welcome to this short video. This is all about a formula for personal change, because it's change that is what is the fundamental barrier to most people improving. It's change that's the barrier to people getting better results. It's resistance to change that stops people having greater success, more fulfillment, more happiness, achieving better things. And so years ago, I started looking into, well, what is it that the most successful people do to enable them to change? And I started to ask a lot of questions, and particularly of those people I was working with very closely and observing how they became more and more successful as we worked closer together, but also in looking at others who I wasn't necessarily working with, but I knew how they become successful. And so over time, I developed a formula. I like formulas. Formulas are easy to follow. And this formula, I call the Mars formula. It's a formula for personal change. And it stands for mindset, actions, results, and success. You see, in order to get the success you want, you have to have a mindset that creates consistent action, that creates sustained results, that creates the new success. You see, mindset creates the habits. Habits are the action that will lead to the improved results, and those improved results will help you sustain the success over the long term. But there's a challenge with this, which is that the vast majority of people have no idea how to work with their mindset, how to change your mindset, how to even reprogram their unconscious so that has an impact on their mindset. You see, what we do on a day-to-day basis is mostly habitual, and it's mostly born over many, many years of developing a certain mindset, a certain way of doing things. So in order to change that, you've got to change the mindset. Otherwise, short-term changes just won't make the actions sustained that create the new results, that create the success that you want. Now, quite a lot of companies look into this, don't they, with their people, and they say, right, we're going to now set out the success for the company in long term. This is what success looks like 5 years from now. And the chief exec stands up at a conference even and says, this is our success vision for 5 years' time. And then they work out what results they need to achieve in order to deliver that success. And then they look at the actions that need to be taken in order to achieve those results, in order to create that success. And no one does anything about mindset, of course, and they think it's maybe to do with motivation. But a year later, the chief exec says, how are we getting on with our big success project? And there's a little bit of an embarrassed silence when they realise that the actions haven't been sustained, the results are not sustained and consistent, and the success, they're not on the map to success that they want it to be. So they decide then that because they can't do anything about mindset, that they'll bring in someone to get everyone enthused that year about the new actions. And of course, instead of the Mars formula, we've got something completely different. I always like to use this with audiences just to test whether you're still with me. So it's not the Mars formula at all. And laughter aside, the problem is that the vast majority of people don't really know how to help people to take new actions in a consistent, sustained way. So we hear people say things like, you've got to step out of comfort zones. You see, we all have this mindset dome, this dome of limitations all around us. We're born with only two fears. The first fear is fear of loud noises, and the second fear is the fear of falling. That's all the fears we have. Everything else is learned. So all the limitations and fears that we have in life create this mindset dome. And this mindset dome is our level of expectation of our performance, our capabilities. And we'll never perform beyond that. We'll only ever perform to the limit of that expectation on a sustained basis. But you get people saying things like, oh, you've got to step out of the comfort zone. So you step out of the comfort zone. But what happens when the going gets tough? Yeah, sure, straight back in. And that's why change isn't sustained. So I believe that what really works much better is if, in fact, you adopt a totally different approach, which is to create a stretch zone. Now, the stretch zone is about using the mindset to believe you're actually performing beyond the level of your previous capability before you're actually doing it. So you create images in your mind's eye and self-talk that makes you believe you're better or you're performing better than you previously were. And this creates a level of expectation that increases the mindset dome. It stretches it so that now you perform into the stretch zone. And it's by doing that that you create a whole new level of performance. You see, it's all about habits. And our habits come from the images that we carry around in our heads. Have you ever been in that situation where you've been driving your car, maybe back home from work, from the office, over, say, a 10 or 20-minute drive, the sort of drive you do every day, and you get home and you think, I can't remember anything of that journey. I can't remember the last 20 minutes. There must be absolute carnage back there somewhere at that roundabout or that set of lights. But of course there's not. It's because we're driving on habit. It's our unconscious almost that is doing the driving. And it's a little bit like when we watch a frightening TV program. I remember watching Doctor Who as a child and hiding behind the couch. Still do sometimes. And realizing then that we tell our children, it's only a film, nothing to be frightened of. And yet we display all of the behaviours that are consistent with someone who's afraid because we believe the images on the TV are real. Because the mind doesn't understand the difference between what's real and what's imagined. And at a subliminal level, that distinction or lack of distinction means that we do the things that are kind of automatic. So in knowing that, we know that if we reprogram those images in our mind's eye about our expectation, about our performance, about our beliefs, about what we can achieve, then in reprogramming our unconscious, that'll have an impact on our habits at a subliminal level. That has an impact on our results. That has an impact on our success. So, to make the Mars formula work, it's about making sustained, significant and positive changes. And that starts with mindset. Mindset that has an impact on our habitual action. Habitual actions that have an impact on better results consistently. And better results that have an impact in terms of the sustained, long-term success and fulfillment that we all enjoy. Employ the Mars formula, and I wish you every success.